Well, hey, Gundam Maniacs, welcome to another episode of Gundam Explained. In this episode, we're going to look at episode 2 of the Gundam Build Metaverse show that's been released on the Gundam.info YouTube channel. Saw episode 1, did a video on that, pretty interesting stuff going on. Episode 2 and 3 have dropped, and that's actually it, it's just 3 episodes. And I've only watched 2, not 3 yet, just so I can take into, kind of talk about it, but yeah, let's do that. And before we get started, if you haven't, please subscribe. If you think this is a cool video, give it a like, check the links in the description for ways you can support the channel. Come join our Discord, we have a lot of fun there. But let's get started. Okay, and again, I don't have much of a history with the Build series in general, but I find it charming. It's a nice break from grimdark that you get out of most Gundam. And I like what I see here right away. It's something I'm very familiar with, and that is panel lining. We're seeing the Gundam marker. It's like, this is like a commercial, but a worthy commercial. I love the idea of just watching a show of people going into a Gunpla hobby shop. I don't know what it is about it, but that's just a fun experience for me. It's joyful when you walk into the store going to pick up a model kit, and kind of see it like this is cool too. All right, and then, you know, we're following Rio again. This is that new character introduced from the first episode. He's been running into characters from the Build series, and he's got this mentor, Syria, who seemed like a really cool character. You know, we saw from the first episode that she just finished watching Double Zeta again, and that's awesome. That's like a deep cut for those that are really into UC stuff. But in general, I just kind of like what's going on here. So they're in the metaverse now, and they're in like what would be like a lobby or something where you can just kind of walk around and stuff. Again, this is very video game centric, so that's another level that this has for not having a lot of history with the Build series, but liking video games. So I'm seeing a lot of that in here. But like even Syria is using a different avatar. And, you know, I guess this is just me really not understanding it. There's a line they said later on where he didn't realize that she was the masked lady. For some reason, I thought that was a known thing from the first episode or something, but maybe the character didn't know and I didn't make that connection. But anyway, we have her in this other avatar, and it's very interesting because this avatar is something she used, and she was even talking about it's just another one she's working on, but then they have a flashback of like her and her sister. And I guess she has a sister that she's not talking to anymore, and they had like kind of similar looking avatars where they had like the gradient of the hair changing colors. Now this is really cool because, you know, just the idea, again, if you're in this like online lobby with a bunch of people looking at some badass mobile suits, this one looks really cool. This is the Tri-Age Gundam, is a mobile suit introduced in the Gundam Tri-Age. It was piloted by Kyoya Kujo. Oh, I think I did that pretty good. In Gundam Build Metaverse. Again, didn't see Tri-Age, but this looks cool because it has like, I guess the Gundam Age sort of look to it, but it has a lot of other neat, cool Gundam aesthetics to it. So it's a heavily modified version of the Gundam Age 1 displayed in the Gundam Memorial Museum. It is created by the Age system based on the combat data of the 3 generations of the Asuno family. Equipped with the new Tri-Age system, it can invoke the armaments and performance of various Gundams through the use of special cards, enabling a wide variety of combat tactics. Besides cards for the Age series, there are also cards for other unknown Gundams. So I guess the card thing was something in the other Build series. It's something I'm gonna have to get into, but dang, looking at shots like this, man, that's some like badass mobile suit battling in space happening. That's the type of stuff I like. So then it just jumps into the battle, so we get to see Rio and his Law Gundam, because that Gundam actually looks pretty cool. And then this shows up, which is badass looking, yet again. Okay, this is when he brings it up. How could you be Mask Lady Miss Syria? I'll explain it all step by step. So if you haven't watched this, this is where you can kind of get all that background information I was talking about. It had to do with her sister and everything. So this is for a 3-episode thing and really setting up characters pretty good in the first one. The second one's diving in deep into some pretty interesting background. Gotta give it to a show like this for only 3 episodes. And her sister name is Maria, and look at that. Look at this like Cubelay looking thing. I don't know what else. Maybe someone in the comments, if you can maybe post other Gundam this is supposed to, or other mobile suit that this is supposed to be influenced by. It's just neat to see takes on mobile suits that I like. Anyway, something happened. They had a falling out, something to do with using someone else's parts. And so it seems like they just haven't talked since. Ooh, high heels. What are we gonna get a look at here? Okay, I am confused. No, but really, kind of funny character they're introducing here. Kind of like it reminds me of Mashimir, but also, what is it? Chibity, whatever the guy's name was in you know, the G Gundam. Very eccentric character, seems to have, you know, very it's masculine but with feminine qualities to it. Hey, look, if I'm gonna look at some anime girls and be like, oh, look at that, I guess we have the male form to look at also, right? Oh, that still does not look good, but I guess this is where he's launched into battle and he has to like get to a floating temple or something, which is actually pretty neat. And if this couldn't get any weirder, so we've got that she guy, girl, interesting character, and then we've got this cat lady girl that looks herself like Gunpla or Gum People, right? With her kneecaps. And then we've got like these bears chilling on a chair, and then we got a dude with a Haro head. And I guess, yeah, these are like the avatars of characters. Just kind of like drawing this must have been pretty fun. Cool looking bad guys. Okay, and then we have a core Gundam showing up, and I'm familiar with that just from, I guess, a previous build series or battle log. I don't know which one it was from, but I just remember a big release about like the core Gundams, Earth 3, and I think there's other names. They are actually pretty neat, and they have all these modular parts you can add on. Yeah, I mean, that is a sick looking mobile suit. I think at one point, does he mention something about it being an Ecopla? So this is the Gunpla where the plastic is actually made from recycled parts, more economically friendly materials. And, you know, it is a known thing right now that plastic use is being restricted. And Japan is one of those countries that plastic use is being restricted. We're seeing this a lot in toy stores already where action figures don't have the plastic on them anymore. They're just in cardboard boxes. You know, this is something to keep in mind when, you know, that whole thing about complaining about P Bandai, hard to get. I mean, Bandai has to be careful with its plastic manufacturing. There's restrictions. There's costs being put on this stuff to kind of reduce the use. So they've been looking at different things like using limestone, the Ecopla that uses maybe recycled parts and all that. It's interesting that they're bringing it up in the Metaverse. The Metaverse is supposed to kind of move Gunpla forward into the future the way we would use Gunpla, but also bringing up Ecopla is just another layer on top of that where the future of Gunpla will be probably less plastic. I'm sure if it doesn't go all digital before then, there will be another sort of material used that's better for the environment. Could end up being more expensive, but these are logistics that Bandai has to work out. And I don't want to make this another P Bandai video. I just find it hilarious how many people get mad at Bandai about P Bandai and they don't really understand how it works. It's just one of those things where just like right now, it derails the real conversation. Again, getting all video gamey, I like that. They talk about taking down a raid boss. And this is a character from a previous build too. So again, this is bringing up more fan service-y stuff within the fan service already going on that I don't have much insight into. So I can't really wait to get into the other shows. And I love this. It's just, again, this is where the fan service-y mobile suit stuff comes in because as the battle is taking place, where it's just a lot of movement, a lot of mobile suits, a lot of explosions, and then looking at the mobile suits, it's like, wow, yeah, look at that one, look at that one. It's exciting stuff. Now this is pretty sick because some like badass bad guy mobile suit is showing up. Man, look at the combat on the battlefield, and look at this like crazy mobile suit showing up, like something from G Gundam. And they're all shooting at it. Look at this poor, that's supposed to be like a gun cannon, kind of updated maybe, but it's just when they're like in the background, the art's not that great, but yeah, I can't complain. Oh, and this guy is getting into his ultimate form. Oh my God, it's a dog person avatar? That makes sense, I guess. But it's also the Poutine Gundam, right? Or Plutine? Isn't that fries from Canada? Badass, look at that shot. You know what, I feel like I need to screenshot this actually. And yeah, just an easy kill at that bad guy. Look at that. I love the design of this enemy, this like boss thing. It contrasts the kind of utilitarian look of the other mobile suits that I'm really into. And it just gives me some vibes of SD Gundam Battle Alliance when I would be playing, you know, and you have your like AI teammates with you and then you would be fighting one of the giant mobile armors or something. All right, and someone else shows up. Again, probably someone from previous build shows. Pretty cool. It's like the Burning Gundam or one of those from G Gundam. Hey, that's a cool shot too. They've got some pretty good artwork in this. Nice shot there. All right, we're getting to the end. Credits hit. Cool stuff. Okay, so what we saw potentially was this star-burning Gundam, although it seemed to have more to it, and that could either be something that happened in the show, the previous shows I'm not familiar with, or maybe it was exclusive for this episode. But this is really neat looking because while it's looking like the burning Gundam from G Gundam, it also does a lot of like UC stuff. So that's about it. I'm curious as I went through that video if there's things that I asked or questioned, and if you have any more details yet, throw them below. It was just kind of neat going through the second episode. Again, I didn't want to do the third because I really want to take in the second one. There's a lot of stuff I don't know, but also being able to look through and see what's going on. It's just interesting that this is only 3 episodes because it was very intriguing, the story that was being brought to light when it came to the Saria character and her sister, having another avatar. I kind of like how it like bleeds into real life where there's, people that have their online presence and maybe they'll be anonymous on another site or something with an avatar. For whatever reason, maybe they just like the privacy or whatever, but I like the mirroring of that. And then the raid boss, like a video game. Yeah, so, this was a lot of fun. I can't wait to get to the 3rd episode and, see what else happens. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Let me know what you think below, and we'll talk later.